What's up, San Diego? Welcome back to another episode of the San Diego Scoop. Today, we're checking out some big changes. A huge development just got approved for the Midway area we talked about before. Oceanside is about to get a surf resort with a wave pool. There's major arts funding coming, and even a new poll showing Americans can't decide if they love or hate California. Shocking, I know. So let's get into it because I can't wait to share these San Diego stories with you all. All right, first up, we got a big one, the Midway Rising project. We've talked about this one before, but now it's official. The Planning Commission just voted 7-0 to move this thing forward, and that's a pretty big deal because if you drive anywhere near the sports arena, this is going to change your daily life. So here's what's on deck. 4,254 housing units, half labeled as affordable, plus a brand new arena to replace this current sports arena that honestly feels like it hasn't been updated since 1975. Add retail, parks, and open space. It's basically like a mini city. But now let's talk reality for a second. Construction could kick off as soon as next year, and we're looking at a 10 to 15 year build out before it's all complete. That means dust, detours, and delays for a long time. And if you've ever tried to get in and out of a concert or a Gulls game at the current arena, you know the roads aren't exactly perfect. One neighbor even said the traffic plans were completely unrealistic and predicted complete gridlock. Honestly, I don't disagree. But traffic is just one piece. Think about the schools, the parking, and even the small businesses nearby. Thousands of new residents could overwhelm the existing infrastructure. But on the flip side, it could breathe new life into Midway, which has looked like a forgotten corner of the city for decades now. For housing, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Yes, half the units are affordable, but in San Diego, that might still mean it's $3,000 rent for a two-bedroom. Investors are already eyeing the area, and if you own in Point Loma, Ocean Beach, or Mission Hills, this could push your property value up over time. And don't forget, it's not just about housing. The new arena could pull more concerts, family events, and big shows into San Diego instead of losing them to LA or Anaheim. Imagine a modern sports and entertainment district with restaurants and nightlife built in. Okay guys, a lot of people have been asking me this. Could this project bring San Diego an NBA or an NHL team in the near future? The short answer is maybe. But here's the reality check. The smallest NBA arena right now seats around 17,000 people, and the smallest NHL arena is right around 15,000. So even if this new arena hits those numbers, we'd still be one of the smallest ones in either league. But the upside at least would feel packed and electric on game nights instead of half empty. And here's another wrinkle. Stan Kroenke, the billionaire who owns the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche, is also part of the Midway Rising development team. But because of league rules, he couldn't own another NBA or NHL team here in San Diego. At best, he'd be the landlord of a franchise, not the owner. Still, having his name tied to the project keeps the speculation alive. So here's the bottom line. If you live nearby, brace yourself for years of construction headaches. And if you're a homeowner, this could boost your equity in the long run. And if you're a renter, well, good luck finding what they call affordable. The city council still has to sign off, but with a unanimous planning commission vote, this feels inevitable. And speaking of things Americans can't make up their minds about, let's get into that new poll that shows people can't decide if they love or hate California. Shocking, I know. But before we do, if you want to stay on top of the projects, zoning changes, and market shifts happening across San Diego, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I cover everything from new construction permits to HOA fee changes that actually affect your wallet, so don't miss it. Okay, so this new poll came out showing California ranked as both the second most desirable place to live and the most undesirable place to live, and that makes total sense if you actually live here in California. So here's the thing, if you've got money, California ranked third for places people want to move. If you're struggling financially, we ranked 42nd out of 50 states. That's basically our housing market in one picture. If you can afford a $1.5 million home in a decent neighborhood, life's pretty good here. But if you're making $80,000 a year and trying to buy, you're probably looking at Texas instead. But at the same time, we've got amazing weather, solid job opportunities if you're in the right industry, and beaches you can enjoy pretty much all year round. So people keep wanting to move here, which keeps pushing prices higher. And from a practical standpoint, that's why San Diego's housing market stays competitive even when mortgage rates climb. The people who want to live here really want to live here, and they'll pay for it. Oh, and the poll even said we have the quirkiest people. I'm taking that as creative and interesting, not just weird. All right, now let's head up to Oceanside, where one of the most ambitious projects in North County is finally getting close to breaking ground. It's called Ocean Camp, a massive 92-acre resort with San Diego County's first artificial wave surfing lagoon, a 300-room hotel, retail shops, and up to 667 homes. If that sounds like a surf resort straight out of a brochure, well, that's the idea. Now, grading on this site actually started about 4 years ago, but work kept stopping because of lawsuits, environmental reviews, and even the discovery of Native American artifacts. Now, the developer says the earthwork is almost finished at a cost of about $10 million just to raise the land 10 to 12 feet out of the floodplain. So, what's next? The team says construction could start by spring of 2026, with the first 350 homes going up before the resort portion really takes shape. But make no mistake, the wave pool is the centerpiece, and they want it done before the 2028 Summer Olympics in LA to ride the tourism surge that comes with it. And of course, there are some concerns from residents. Residents have flagged traffic, the project's location near Oceanside's small airport, and the irony of building a surf lagoon so close to the actual ocean. And let's not forget, this site is actually just down the road from the controversial Eddie Jones Jones warehouse project, which stirred up plenty of debate about growth and congestion in the same area. But the business community, local nonprofits, and even surfers have mostly rallied behind Ocean Camp, saying it'll bring jobs, housing, and new life to a site that once held a drive-in movie theater and a swap meet. And honestly, they could be right. Oceanside has already seen a boom with projects like the Seabird Resort and Mission Pacific Hotel, and if Ocean Camp delivers, it could make Oceanside a true destination city, not just for waves, but for families and investors too. Now let's get into something that might surprise you: how arts funding can actually impact your property values in ways most people don't even think about. The Preppies Foundation just handed out $13 million to arts groups around San Diego, and that money might be what keeps some of your favorite venues from shutting down. Big names like La Jolla Playhouse, the San Diego Museum of Art, and the Old Globe are getting major support at a time when a lot of cultural organizations are hurting from budget cuts. Now, you might think this doesn't affect you directly, but it does. These places are part of what makes San Diego attractive to the professionals who can actually afford to live here. When companies recruit talent here, they don't just sell the weather and the beaches, they sell the culture too. And if museums and theaters close, that pitch gets a lot weaker. And from a neighborhood angle, the foundation's even putting money into affordable creative spaces, which helps neighborhoods stay vibrant instead of turning bland and soulless. Alright, now let's get into those mortgage rates everyone's been asking about, and why the numbers might not be as good as they sound. So yeah, mortgage rates dropped to 6.5% last week, and everyone's treating it like a huge deal. But let me put it into perspective for you. If you're looking at a $1.2 million house, which is about average here in San Diego right now, this drop might save you maybe $200 to $300 a month compared to a few weeks ago. Now that is real money, but it's not life-changing. Now here's the inside scoop. I'm actually seeing some of my clients lock in rates closer to 5.5%, and if you're looking at new construction, some builders are offering even lower rates with their own financing incentives. So if you know where to look, there could be even more savings out there than the headline suggests. But the bigger question is, if these drops pull more buyers into the market, which could push prices even higher, lower rates don't help much if they spark bidding wars that force you to go $50,000 over asking. The real issue here is supply. There just aren't enough homes for the number of people who want to live here, and a slightly lower rate doesn't really fix that. And if you're house hunting, this might let you qualify for a bit more, but you're still up against cash buyers and people moving here with profits from selling their homes in other states. So yeah, lower rates help, and if you shop smart or check out new builds, you might find better deals elsewhere. But they don't fix the bigger problem: how insanely expensive it has gotten to live here. Alright, that's what's going on this week that actually impacts your daily life here in San Diego. Are any of you already dealing with the Midway construction mess? And hey, if you live in Oceanside, what's your take on Ocean Camp? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you're trying to figure out how these rate changes affect your buying power, or just want to talk about what these new projects mean for your area, feel free to reach out to me at burn@off-to56.com. Oh, and before you go, don't forget to hit subscribe if you find this kind of local breakdown useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next San Diego Scoop.